Therapy with Thea.
Oh, I have this client at 2 o'clock. Who is she? Deborah, right. And she's a judge.
Hello there, Thea.
Hello, Deborah. I was just reading your case notes. This is just water, in case you were wondering.
Well, it's pleasant to meet you. I've never spoken to a therapist before. It sounds like an interesting profession.
Well, nothing like being a judge, I'm sure, Your Honour.
It's just Deborah. I'm not that type of judge.
What other kind of judge is there?
I'm more of a leader of my country, I suppose a politician, you might say.
Oh, that's a relief.
How so?
No reason at all. Anyway, isn't this supposed to be a conversation? It's not supposed to be a conversation about my tax situation. I mean, my situation. This is about you. This is a session that will be about getting to know one another to establish how I can help you as a therapist moving forward.
Well, what do you want to know?
Well, if you could tell me a bit about what is going on with you lately.
Well, Thea, as you will have read in the notes that I carefully prepared for our meeting, I am the leader of a small nation named Israel, and until very recently, we were at war with a larger nation called Hazor.
That sounds terrifying.
It is, Thea, it is. You've never known true fear until you've seen an army of 900 armoured chariots deployed against you.
Yes, I think I saw something like that on the M25 one time.
Ah, so you'll know that what you need to do is to lure the chariots into unfavourable ground and then launch an ambush attack.
Well, when you put it like that, it's just common sense.
I had a terrible time convincing our main general that it was time to go on the offensive. His name is Barak. A nice man, a little indecisive. Even though I am a qualified prophetess, I was able to confirm for him divine blessings for his mission. He still insisted that I had to come along with him.
Well, I like a bit of moral support too. One time, when I had to have my tooth out, I tried to take my Yorkie, Mr. Snugglekins, in with me. But the receptionist told me it wasn't hygienic to have a dog in the dental practice, so I had to leave him in the car. It was very traumatic for us both.
Yes, sounds terrible.
But please do tell me more about this whole war business.
Well, as I had prophesied, the battle was a tremendous success for us. Barak did himself proud, even though he would have seemed a little more impressive to the country if he hadn't insisted on taking a woman along to hold his hand.
I suppose he was the butt of a few jokes in the barracks.
Ah, play on words, because his name sounds like a building used to house soldiers.
Well, please do continue the story.
Very well. I prophesied that because of his cold feet, so to speak, he wouldn't get all the honour of the victory, because the Lord had given the enemy general into the hands of a woman instead.
Oh, I like it. A real girl power moment. I can see you now, like Xena, warrior princess, in your armour on the battlefield in person, taking the enemy general prisoner yourself.
Well, no. I don't know who this Xena person is, but that isn't how it happened at all. It was a bit puzzling at the time. As I mentioned, I am a qualified prophetess, and getting a prophecy like that from the Lord is pretty much a certain thing.
Oh, no doubt. So what happened to him?
He escaped.
That sounds like a bit of an anticlimax.
Very much not, as it turns out. He ended up hiding out in the camp of some Canaanite people. They are basically our cousins. But at that moment, they're not at war with our enemy, so I suppose he thought he'd be okay.
Well, who wouldn't?
He's staying in the tent of a lady named JL. He's so exhausted, he just falls asleep.
There's no way I could sleep properly in a tent. I hate camping. I got bitten by a mosquito once. You know, in the guides. Terrible swelling it caused. I told my guide leader, camping is not good for you.
But anyway, it turns out that JL was very much on our side. She took out a tent peg, put it against his head, and went...
She did what?
She murdered him in his sleep in an incredibly gruesome way with a tent peg.
Wonderful.
So that seems to be the end of the Hazor problem. We've had peace ever since then, and there's been no more wars on the horizon, which makes it easier to be a judge, to be honest. And most importantly, my prophecy was correct. Just not in the way I expected it to be.
Of course. And once again, my taxes are all very much in order. The accountants assure me that it's all very much above board.
There's no need to tell me. I told you, I'm not that sort of judge.
Of course, I just felt the need to be completely honest with you for some reason. Anyway, I feel like we really got to know each other there a little bit. So, real food for thought.
Excellent. I look forward to a more productive follow-up in the future. Goodbye.
Well, if I had known that story earlier, I would definitely have won that argument with my guide leader. Catch me in another tent? I don't think so.
Therapy.